Hello, everybody. If you can hear me, this is Horace, also known as La Machine, and this is What to Sell on Amazon, where we talk everything selling on Amazon using the arbitrage business model. And this is the second YouTube live that we've done as the Working Class Hustler panel. So as you look around, you can see myself, you see Karen, you see Sarah, you see Eric. These are people from the private group. It's the cream, and it always rises to the top. And they are so gracious, so helpful that they were willing to give their time in order to help you. The title of this video is Amazon Arbitrage Q A. So that's what it's going to be about. We will cover a couple of topics that I want to talk about and maybe some of the panelists, but primarily, this is about you. So make sure you get your questions answered in the chat because we came out here for your benefit. And check this out. You know, I'm always talking about cash back, right? You see that? Anybody know what that is? How about my panelists? Are you looking?
Oh, yes, that's nice.
You get your sales.
See, I knew they was gonna light up. That's money. That's money right there. Remember, guys, we are professional shoppers, and a lot of these programs, cash back, rewards, points, just flat out free money. All of this is set up for the casual, typical shopper. You're not. You can do things in terms of saving money as a shopper. You can do things that the normal shopper could never do. The advantage is because you're shopping in a perpetual fashion and you're buying volumes that they really didn't design those programs for. But you are a shopper like anyone else and you cannot be denied under most circumstances. So what we're gonna do is later, we're gonna open my my little eBay check and see what I got. Maybe we can have some McDonald's.
Hey.
So let's see what's going on here. I need to make sure I'm looking at my comments and let's see who's out here so far. I see Katie from London with Love.
Yes.
Yes,
awesome.
Katie, we're going to dive in right now. And Mr. Peebles, he's actually one of our panelists. Thanks for being here. Tarisha Thrash, hello, glad to finally catch one Sunday. Happy 2020, Ton. That's one of our regulars. Thank you for joining. We got Alex Ropey, first time here.
Hi.
Well, a warm welcome from the Working Class Hustler family. Oh my goodness. Do I see Will Math? He goes way back before we even hit 1,000 subscribers. Love you, bro. Thank you for showing up. Judy D has no sound. Double check, I don't know, double check your settings. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let me double check with my producer while we look. Let's see what Brian said. He can hear him. Okay. Diamond's Garage, that's one of our panelists. The one and only Mikey. I don't know what he's doing. He should have his butt out here with us, but I'm not even going to ask Mikey. Let's see. Oh, this is the Photoshop invoice guy. Hey, what's going on, Mark?
Oh, I remember him.
That is one of our regular customers, and you know we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. If you guys ever want to connect with me, I will put the number on the screen. That's what he did. Let's see what we got going here. Oh, okay. Judy says I'm good now. Trey Brown, thank you so much for the donation. Hope all is well. Starting with arbitrage with $1,000. Do you maintain? I think he wants to say, how do you maintain the drive in this business. Okay, I'm going to turn that over right away to Karen because that is right up her alley. Talk to us a little bit about maintaining drive in this business.
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm the one to answer it, but I can certainly start. I think you maintain drive by doing what Horace says. Maintain your expectations. Understand that it's going to take a while for your items to really start selling, for the money to start rolling in. So have that expectation. And if you really love the work, and if you enjoy finding the deals that you're gonna resell, then you'll maintain the drive. But really maintain your expectations. Don't expect to get rich, and you'll be okay. I don't know what the other panelists think about it, but set maybe small goals, incremental goals along the way.
Eric, did you want to add to that?
No, I was going to say that's well said, and especially with the small goals. I mean, my first goal was obviously one sale. Then I'm working on I work on $100, and I'm working on 1,000, and yeah, you just got to stick with it. I've had some setbacks personally. I was in the hospital and my kid's going to school, so not that I wanted to step back, but it was noticeable, and I'm not concerned that my dollars are down right now because I know they're going to jump back up now that I'm back and focused again.
Yeah, that's important. Thank you for sharing that, because what you're going to find is life does not stop just because you decide that you want to advance and get into a business. While I was doing this, my middle child ended up needing a heart transplant, got it, but I still had to continue with the business and everything going through that, so I appreciate you sharing that, and I just wanted to add to it. Where does the drive come from? A lot of us, and you've heard me say this before, a lot of us that are doing this, we also watch motivational type videos. We study personal development and things like that. Sometimes that helps me to watch motivational videos, read books on success, but primarily I think it comes from within. You have to understand, this is just my philosophy, and I get into some of this woo-woo stuff, so just know that from the gate. I think one of the greatest, one of the greatest blessings that we have as humans, and what really separates us from animals, is that we have the choice to determine for ourselves what our purpose is. And I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest things for me, if you look at what I'm doing right now with this channel, it is because I have determined for myself that this is one of my purposes for being here. When you're doing this because you decided this is part of the reason that I'm here, then the rest, it'll work itself out, because you're not going to quit. And I've talked to some of the panelists at length about this in private discussions. A person who will not quit cannot fail. The failure only occurs once you give up. So let that be a lesson unto you as we continue. Let's see, we got Happy Lady Davis. Hello, everyone. Oh, and check this out, guys. You might have noticed last week we had a husband and wife couple who are regular panelists. That would be Nate and Elizabeth. Well, they're not here today because they're at an event. What's that event called, Karen? Is it ASD?
It's ASD, the ASD trade show.
Yeah, and we might get lucky. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. For anyone who's not sure what that is, I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen for a second so that we can all know what we're talking about when we say that.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I should mention too, Horace, I hope that they are able to join us. But if you're going to put some information up about the ASD trade show, it's my understanding that the list of manufacturers or vendors that are there are available without, that they're available online. So
Also, even if you couldn't physically be there,
that's right.
oh, that's neat. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong window, so we can stop that. Let me see if I can find this thing. It's lost somewhere out here.
The only challenge with that is maybe it looks like the vendors aren't necessarily specifically the brand names that we might see in any store we choose to do arbitrage from, but they may be distributors of various products. So when you get if you get the list, you probably have to sort of do a little digging to find out what the various vendors offer, what they sell. But it's a great resource.
Yeah, you were planning on going. Didn't quite work out, but
That's
hey,
right.
maybe.
Life happens. So plan B. Always plan B and plan C.
But for those of you who can see my screen, this is the. It's basically what it is a trade show, and as you can see, you've got 1,500 plus vendors. Of course, they have their booths and all of this stuff. If by chance Nate and Elizabeth, if they were able to join us, they were very excited about that because we would actually get an inside look. They would be there and be able to kind of show us on their camera what's going on there. Meanwhile, Brian says, what drives me? I have a sailing goal. So a phrase that I love is, what would rather have fond memories? Okay, would rather have fond memories than unfulfilled dreams. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Peebles. I think we got a question, guys. Judy D says, I am having problems getting my shipping supplies from Walmart. Sellers kept canceling my orders. What is going to happen when I start to order for OA? Okay, is anybody getting their shipping supplies from Walmart? I do not.
Get them from Amazon.
My
get
shipping
boxes.
supplies come from OA and Amazon.
Okay.
If I'm in a rush, I'll rush to Lowe's or Walmart, for boxes. But generally, I go right through Amazon.
I actually use all free boxing for sending orders to FBA. If that's what we're talking about. For FBA, I never, ever buy a box.
Who do you use?
I use the boxes that I get from either online arbitrage. I do online
Oh,
arbitrage,
yeah.
and items come in a box. I save
Yeah.
the box and I use it. Or I personally order things from my family from Amazon, or for my business, boxes, envelopes, all of it. I reuse all
Yeah.
of that. And so
Sometimes
I
I
never,
need a big box.
I never, yeah, I get big boxes from the orders that I make for online arbitrage, and I never ever buy a box.
Yeah, I get boxes from recycling, the green recycling bins. Some stores don't even break them down. They just toss them in there and they're just perfect. CVS is a great one for unbreaking boxes for me. Also, all my Amazon Prime stuff I do reuse those envelopes for my merchant fulfilled items, so it says Amazon on it.
I like
I
that.
think that helps a little bit in merchant fulfilled.
I do the same thing.
Just cut it down.
Walmart, in particular, is a place where you can go, and any given time you go into Walmart, they're unloading merchandise there, and they've got stacks of boxes. They don't mind. You can ask them if you can have the boxes. They'll just give you the boxes, and you can just fill up your cart and wheel them on out and do nothing else if you want. So,
Yeah, I used to do that a lot. Just go right into Walmart. Now, this was before COVID. They would be open 24 hours, and you could go in real late when they're breaking down boxes, and they don't care. You could just walk right out. My local grocery store, same thing. I could go in there, and right when they're breaking down boxes, just grab them, and they don't mind at all. Mikey said, "Do not buy from Walmart." We got another question. Jay Gonzalez says, Helium 10 versus tactical arbitrage. I would say those are two separate animals altogether. Tactical arbitrage is a software you'll hear me talk about and teach a lot. Because what that does is it allows you to source different stores in order to find products that you can sell using the arbitrage business model. To my knowledge, Helium 10 is more of a product research software, and it's more applicable to people who want to do, what do you call it, private labeling and that kind of stuff. Eric, have you tried it, or does any of the other panelists have something to add about that question? Helium 10.
I've never used Helium 10.
I use their starter pack, and I use that for their X-ray feature, which shows how many units are moving a month, how many sellers, and how much sales are on that product to help me make some of my decisions. So it'll tell you, there's $15,000 worth of sales and only 10 sellers, so it can tell you if it's a good idea to jump on something. I would say only get it once you get to a high volume. It's not something worth it for starting out, just use Keepa. But if you are, especially if you're thinking of doing a very large order and don't want to risk that money on, ordering 50 units, that's when it comes in handy.
how much is Helium 10? About how much does Helium 10
The
cost?
starter pack is 37, and it gives you limited features. Not all the stuff that's needed for private labeling, so I find the 37 worth it for that information.
Okay. I use the free version myself, but I'm only looking at it sort of like an extra thing to keep. I really don't use it that much. Felicia added, check every day on Facebook Marketplace for free boxes. People are always posting to give boxes away. Think about that, guys. A lot of people, think about how many people are receiving packages the way you were talking about, Karen, just regular, and they don't want to deal with it. So they'd be happy if you went around through the neighborhood picking up their Amazon boxes. You'll be doing something for the planet, and you'll have nice boxes that already say Amazon.
Yeah, Felicia's got a great idea with that. The other thing is that not only can you get boxes from Facebook Market, but also packing materials. We can't use packing peanuts to send things to FBA, but if you have other reasons or other platforms that you can use those in, you can get those. But also the pillows. I have a local guitar store, and they get shipments all the time, and they get all these air pillows, I guess that's what they're called. Okay. And they are happy for me to come and pick them up. So all kinds of other packing materials you can get from Facebook Market. So that was a great idea.
Mr. Peebles added blank shipping labels are free from UPS. Let's see what else we got here.
We're the experts on free and discounts, right? That's what we do.
My free UPS thermal printer is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Wait, what was that?
My free thermal printer from UPS, that's the best thing that ever happened.
They gave you a free one?
Just set up a business account on your UPS account, and they give you a business representative. And then I tell them, oh yeah, I ship 100 boxes a month, and you will get a free Zebra thermal printer.
And
I
it's
use one of
nice.
It
I
is
use
so
it.
nice.
It is so nice.
And
That's
the
a
4x6 labels are free.
Yeah.
I only have to buy the small FKSU labels for my products, but that was like 12 bucks on Amazon. But I hated the 32 label sheets.
Look at Felicia just adding so much value. You can also ask at furniture stores near you. Wow. Let's see what else we got here. Oh,
Yes.
somebody was just
Yes.
I don't know if that's ever coming back. You know, going through COVID, so many businesses have had the chance to reevaluate. The pandemic forced them to see things, to do things, and then in the process of making their adjustments, they said, wait a minute, we don't need to be 24 hours. So I don't know if that's ever coming back. J.R. Thomas, I appealed my first copyright infringement today by sending a copy of my purchase receipt and basically apologized for my error in judgment. Should I have done more?
That happened to me, and I did basically the same thing, and they kept it on my account. I think I've got 2 on there, but I've really, I forgot that program I bought. I know I told you about it, Horace, that one that pops up. Oh, sorry about that. That pops up when you're looking on Amazon to tell you IP alert. That's what's
Okay.
up. But from my understanding, these things fall off after 6 months.
Yeah, when you're doing arbitrage, it's going to happen from time to time.
Yeah.
We
I
try
was
our best.
I was a nervous wreck when it used to happen, but now I don't even give it a second thought.
Exactly. That I'm glad you mentioned that because when we're new, we get excited about everything and we think that the Amazon boogeyman is going to get us, and then we get over it. Do this business long enough, hustlers, you'll get over it.
Yeah.
Took their starter training course. That might be a conversation going on. Well then, hello Tradina.
Hi, Tradina.
You should be out here. She's one of our panelists.
Right.
Brian saying hello to Dina. You get a lot of moving boxes for free.
Oh, U-Haul. I go to my U-Haul has a free take them box. I guess when people buy boxes from U-Haul and after their moves, if they want to recycle the boxes, at my local U-Haul, they can take them there and dump them into the free box. So I get free boxes there too. Big ones.
Felicia had a concern, CLT2. She's actually giving us the code name for one of Amazon's facilities, and that particular one is taking 30 to 45 days to receive the shipment.
That's my main
The
facility,
delays are
and they're
bad,
terrible.
and it's only August. Do you think that merchant fulfilling is going to be bigger than FBA this Q4? I don't think so, but I don't know. I do both. And you know what? What do you guys think about that? Does anybody want to take that question?
Well, I do eBay. So last Christmas, with the mess that happened with the United States Postal Office, almost took me out.
Me
I
too.
had people get their Christmas packages into January. The only saving grace is people actually knew it was publicized enough that the post office was delayed and having problems, but that didn't change that I had to give refunds. Got so much stuff returned to me, so I would only merchant fulfilled unless if I'm using FedEx or UPS. I would not use the post office. I just cannot trust them again during Christmas for merchant fulfilled items. So I'm just gonna get everything to the warehouse early this year. I plan to get everything there by October and be done with it.
And you don't think that merchant fulfilled is going to be bigger than FBA this Q4?
No, I don't think people choose merchant fulfilled unless there is no FBA option. That's the whole point of Amazon, is to get it in a day or two. So merchant fulfilled, you're looking at 5 to 7 days, and that's not what people are looking for. It's only if you're the only person who has that item, then someone will buy it from you. So it's hit or miss.
Okay. Deborah was saying, please let us know.
Can I answer one question on the back before that?
Did I miss a question?
Yeah, there was from Trey Brown, sitting with $1,000 besides tax or arbitrage or other tools. Would you suggest?
Okay.
The one thing I would say not to do is I would not buy those lists to get ungated. Take it from me. I've spent a fortune on them, and it's not worth it. You can get in to our groups, and they're all over there. There are ways to get those free. I spent well over $500 on these lists, and they're just not worth it.
You know what would be interesting? It would be interesting to have Horace, to have some number of your panelists or group members to throw out the question. If you had $500 to spend or $1,000 to spend and you were starting all over again, knowing what you know now, how would you spend that? I did purchase lists when I first got started, and it was helpful because I was not ready to tackle the software. I was busy in the very beginning just trying to figure out all those communications from Amazon. I wasn't ready for that. So the list helped me to get started. And while it didn't net a tremendous amount, it kept me kind of in the game enough to keep going for maybe 3 months or so. After that, you're ready to progress on. But that's just my experience and how I felt about it. It kind of depends on, what list you get, what you get with the list, what your own comfort level is with dealing with software. There's all kind of variables that go into that. So
Yeah.
I just
And
think
I
it'd be
agree
interesting.
with the list. I've purchased the list. It's the ones. There's some people out there for $300 or $500. I'll show you how to get ungated.
Oh, no, not that.
Yeah. No, but I agree with the list. The list. I've seen some. They're $50, $60, and I've purchased here or there for a month.
Right.
And I keep them all in a spreadsheet, so I have all of them, so I can always come back and see,
Right.
if there's anything I can purchase.
Right. But don't pay to get ungated. Don't do
No,
that.
no.
Don't do that.
Okay, so back to where we were. Thanks for keeping me on course there, Eric. So Deborah, I think you just go to ups.com and start yourself a business account.
Yeah, I dropped it in the comments, the UPS. It's just the most important is get a business account. You can't get it through the regular account.
Get a business account, but then also, Sarah, did you actually talk to a rep?
Yes.
So that's really key, because if you just get a business account, they're not just on the website advertising the goodies like that. You've got to actually talk to a person, and you were more effective than I was, Sarah. I saw somewhere, I heard about this, and I tried it, and I didn't talk to an account rep. I talked to just whoever answers the 800 number at UPS, and they said, oh yeah, we can get you a thermal printer for $3 a week. Now, I was just getting started, and $3 a week was, you know, okay, I did it. It was better than, you know, a big cash outlay for a printer. That Zebra printer is an exceptional
Yeah.
thing. However, if I had been more confident and a little bit more assertive, I would have asked to speak to account rep. I would have done exactly what Sarah said. Tell them you're selling you know, you're going to be sending out 100, 200 packages a month, because they're not giving them out to people who say, "Oh, I'm just getting started, and I don't know, I got 10 sales last week." I don't think you'll get it for that. I think they
Right.
have to believe that you're going to really be a significant customer.
And buying it from them, not mentioning that you're pre-purchasing from Amazon, because that's not helping them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an account rep, but he never offered a printer, but I'm thinking maybe he asked, and I already had one. But he reaches out every 3, 4 weeks to see how things are going.
Yeah, I had an account rep never offer me nothing.
Yeah.
See, in my old age, I get a little more aggressive and ask for things. I like, where's my free stuff?
Right. Tradina said USPS just sent out a news article stating that they are about to become slower. I didn't know they could get any slower, Tradina. That list, maybe they'll be going backwards. I don't know. Katie says, since I live in the UK, I use a folder. Florida. Some of my items were sent to Amazon in June, still didn't reach destination. Is it normal or shall I start panicking? You say June and we're already towards the end of August? I don't like to use the word panic.
I would question.
I think you can
What
open a
warehouse were they
case.
sent to? That's a good question. Because if they went to CL2, yeah.
I have a problem with them in Pennsylvania too.
Okay. Felicia says, I just think it is crazy that USPS is going up in price, but the service is so bad and getting worse. Understood. Hey, there's Sarah. Set up a big time. Yeah, we can't cover that, but thank you so much.
Okay.
Trina says, amen to no ungating list. And Tradina asks, does anyone have any opinions on when to start paying yourself, and how do you decide how much to pay yourself? Okay.
Tradina, I'm so glad you asked that, because I know Horace reads books. I just read a book last week called Profit First. Has anybody read that?
I've heard of it. There's videos on it.
Yeah.
It's a big
It
thing.
advocates paying yourself no matter what, for your business to succeed. So I was just wondering if anyone had tried that method.
Okay. I don't really pay myself per se. Now I have to, because, you know, as an LLC, you do have to pay yourself. So my accountant came up with some number out of the sky so that you know, I could.
An LLC, you have to pay yourself?
No, I
Yeah,
think
because,
I think it's as an S corp you have to pay yourself.
well, here's the deal. I'm an LLC, but for the way I do my taxes, I file as an S corp. So
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
because of the
right. The S
advantages.
corp is the thing, not the LLC that requires.
Right.
Yeah, it's the S corp. But so yeah, we just came up with a number, but I'm probably not doing it right.
Sarah, what's the name of the book again that you just referenced?
It's called Profit First.
Profit First.
And they even have a secondary book. After you read the first book, it's specifically for e-commerce. It's how to tweak it for specifically Amazon sellers, to deal with special things like inventory and such, and how Amazon pays us It was really fascinating, stuck with me, and I think I'm going to try it. But I'm continually looking for how to handle my accounting better.
I think there's not a better resource that I hear of other than the profit first method for helping sellers think through when to pay themselves, how much to pay themselves. I do not technically pay myself. Everything is still going into the business, but profit first, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah. They advocate using separate accounts. I think there's 5 of them.
Yes.
One is an account reserved for your inventory purchases, an account reserved for your taxes, an account reserved for, there's several different categories. And so I do have accounts and categories. I just never withdraw any money so far.
Yeah, and just for the taxes alone, I don't think we think about taxes enough, but as your numbers grow, you better think about taxes. And just the thought of, please put aside a percentage of every payment for taxes.
Yeah.
And use something like inventory lab to track your costs.
Yeah. On that note, so like,
And a great accountant. Oh, look at here.
estimated taxes. That's exactly what you're talking about, Sarah. It's so important because at the end of the year, if you don't, you're gonna owe a pretty nice sized chunk of change there.
I think a relationship. So here's something that I didn't understand in the beginning. I didn't understand how important it can be to establish a relationship with an accountant, because an accountant can, your accountant can really advise you. In my case, it's everybody's different, but in my case, the accountant looked at my business and said in the first 6 months. I think I started a year ago this month. So from August to December, my accountant reviewed things and said, all right, looking at your other income, et cetera, you're probably not going to end up having to pay any additional taxes as a result of your business. But next year, if you do more, then you will. So you'll need to set aside money for that. So,
Do you use an online accountant?
when you say an online accountant, what do you mean?
You know,
She
one-
reviews my books online. She reviews my books.
What is this local that you know? I use Mazuma online, and I'm just not really happy with the amount of money I'm spending.
Yeah. This person was recommended to me, and she recommended that I invest in QuickBooks and got the accounts within QuickBooks set up. And then on a quarterly basis, she goes in to check. And she has access to my QuickBooks account so that
So use Quick- what do
she
you?
can see.
What do they charge you for QuickBooks?
I just have I think, QuickBooks Online. Maybe it's $25 a month.
I'll look at that.
Yeah. Not QuickBooks Self-Employed. I believe it's QuickBooks Professional. So much of the work is done that way. But really what I'm trying to say is when you first get started, when you first get started, you want to keep your expenses very low. So it's not the best idea, in my view, to go out and buy, a lot of different tools. But if I don't know the period of time, but if you start doing it and find that you like doing this work, that you think you're going to really stick with it, then definitely get your accounting set up.
So we're going to take the next question. Mike says, I had trouble with my $3 a week Zebra. And since I work through inventory lab, tech support refused to work with me, so I sent it back. So let me tell you, I have the Zebra printer, but for inventory lab, I don't use that. I use a label writer 450. I think, Sarah, you're using just the, Sarah and Karen, you guys are using the Zebra for everything, even inventory lab.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm not telling somebody that they need to go out and buy a second printer, but I use two printers. That's just me.
I just switch out the rolls.
That's what I do.
I use two printers. I use three printers
Okay.
because I don't want to switch. I have a 4x6 printer, a barcode printer, and just a regular one. I just don't want to do it. And also, because my accountant said, "Listen, it's early. You're not going to be able to quit your job from doing this anyway so early on. So buy what you need to run your business."
So here's one. Can you guys hear me okay?
No.
Nope.
Okay, hold on a second. Wait, you just said no, so how do you know?
I can't hear you okay.
We read lips.
Okay, hold on a second. This thing is just giving me problems all the way around. How about now?
Yep.
Better.
Yeah.
Okay, better. But then when I turn it up, then I start to get an echo. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But you're still hearing me right now?
Yes.
Can hear you pretty well now. I was going to say, a thing about being a professional shopper, and it carries over to the items that you buy for your business. So yes, I have three printers, but I probably paid for my three printers what a lot of people would just pay for one. So,
Okay.
because I'm a professional shopper.
So if you can hear me at the moment, we'll see how long this lasts. Let's talk about we're towards the end of August, and holiday seasons are a huge part of any retail. And of course, we're coming up on Halloween. So here are my thoughts about that. In my experience, the way people shop during a holiday is totally different. They don't really shop. They just buy because they're trying to accomplish a task and move on. So Halloween is the one we're looking at that's coming up. People do spend money on that. My thing is this, and I want the panelists to weigh in on this. My thing is, if you like FBA, you're a little tight because by the time you buy the product, get it sent to you, get it into the warehouse, and Amazon disseminates it throughout their system, you kind of tight. But if you're going to merchant fulfill, there's still plenty of time to maximize on the Halloween holiday season. Does anybody want to weigh in on that? Or is my mic working?
Yeah, but I have a little bit of Halloween stuff I am sending in this week, and I think this is my last chance to get it in for great sales and not have it sit there. I'm not going to merchant fulfill.
Why? Why, Sarah?
I just don't want to be left with stock, and I just don't trust people to get the buy box. And then the cost of shipping,
The shipping costs.
it's just so much, especially some of the items are heavy. I have some great zombie items that are really heavy I got at Target. But it's going to be very cheap to send them to Amazon, and then Amazon will take care of it from there. And I know I make a profit. I know 100%. Where one of my first boo-boos on Amazon was I had an air fryer merchant fulfilled, and the person who bought it was from Hawaii. And I canceled that order, and then I got a ding on, yes, newbie. And then I got a ding, oh my goodness. So that's part of the reason you keep seeing me no merchant fulfilled, because it burned me.
I knew there was more to the story.
Yeah. So get those shipping settings right in Amazon before you go and merchant fulfill.
Good tip. I still don't have mine,
Yeah.
you know,
Take
as
away
they really
Puerto
need to
Rico,
be.
Hawaii, Guam, Alaska, none of y'all.
Oh my goodness. All right. I wanted to cover that though because the holiday season, that's a big deal. For those of you who can take advantage of that, it's a totally different game. If you can get into it, try to take advantage of them all if possible. Let's see. Now I want to take this next question. This one is going to be interesting. So let's check this out. From Linda, she says, last week I was ungated. Ungated left and right while in the store. Okay, so she was ungated in a whole bunch of stuff. She was scanning stuff and she was ungated left and right while she was in the store. But when she tried to list the item, she had to apply. And it happened so much, she could no longer trust the auto approval process. So has anybody been having problems where while you're in the store, say you're doing retail arbitrage and you're using the Amazon seller app, you're scanning stuff and it's saying, oh, you can sell it, oh, you can list it. Then you get home and it's a different story. Is anybody having that issue?
No, I've had it where I think what we're saying too is that when you're in the store and you're not ungated, so you click, it says, oh, congratulations, you're now ungated. When you get home, you try to send it in, and it says, oh, you got to apply again.
Okay.
But that really hasn't happened to me.
I don't have that happen that often. Guys,
I get ungated all the time. You know, just immediate ungated, but I've never had to take that away. Yeah.
I've had it once or twice. And it's called, oh, these items are going to go back to the store, return, keep your receipt.
Okay, let's see what this next one is. I bought the Bolo. I think is it the Rolo?
Rolo.
Yeah.
And I heard that I can get the shipping labels from UPS free. I think you can. They need.
You can. I love my Rolo, and I get the UPS labels.
Yeah, you could just order them. When you go to the account, log in and all of that stuff, then you'll just go under supplies and you'll find that the type of labels. It doesn't come in a roll, right? Doesn't it come in like a folded thing?
Mine's in a roll.
Yours is in a roll, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Robert Baker says sometimes some business banks have discounts for QuickBooks. That's interesting. Judy D says an Excel spreadsheet is good to keep track. If you're using Inventory Lab, I think you're fine on that front. But if you like spreadsheets, definitely, yeah, you can do that. Robert goes 2-label printers, good way to go.
Yes.
Mr. Peebles started with a Dymo but moved to a Rolo and loves it. My volume went all the way down. I think I got that halfway fixed now. Mikey says I'm not doing Halloween stuff because Halloween is Christmas for me. I'm not even going to try and unpack that. Okay, as far as the notes for this video, this is because this is YouTube. What you could do, the way I have it set up, is when you replay it, you'll get to see all of the comments as they're coming in. That's being saved, so I won't have the ability to save notes like I do in the Zoom meetings. Tradina says, I noticed that when I took my Amazon store off of vacation mode, my shipping settings had changed unbeknownst to me. I've never put my store on vacation mode, so I don't know. But you know how computers are. That's bound to happen.
I've had my shipping settings just without even going on vacation mode. I've had my shipping preferences just vanish. And for instance, all of a sudden then I only get the shipping option of Fed Express. You know, I've got a 4-ounce first class item that I need to send fulfilled by merchant, and it will only give me the option of sending it Fed Express. I didn't do anything. So I just have to go back in and reset them.
I think Mr. Peoples is giving us a word to the wise. For holidays, get your boxes, polybags, shipping labels, etc. now. Don't wait until the last minute. Be prepared. So
Yeah, that's what I would do with the first $500 too, is make sure you get your poly bag.
So I think Tradina is kind of expounding on her story. She got screwed. The moral is to check your merchant fulfilled shipping settings periodically. Good deal.
Good advice.
Mikey was going to share in the chat. I think he has a wholesale supplier for new resellers that you can get ungated and all kinds of products, but you've got to spend over $2,500 for first order. That might be a little bit beyond the scope of our audience. If anybody's interested in that, feel free to let us know in the chat. Let's see. Mike says inventory lab is perfect. Felicia says, anybody having trouble with the product compliance request? I have over 30 requests so far. I don't even respond to them. If I get them, I get out of the product and I'm done with it. Does anybody want to add anything?
That's what I do. Yeah,
I think that's what everyone does. You know, when you get those requests, they give you a certain amount of time. I've heard different things about the amount of time, but a certain amount of time before they're going to remove your listing. So,
and most of the time it's selling before it's an issue.
and then sometimes, you know, when they send the product compliance request to you, they're sending it to other sellers too, and
Yeah.
somehow magically someone comes up with the documents and then the request disappears and you can continue selling. So, but I think the conventional wisdom is if you get a product compliance request, just try to unload your items as soon as possible. Get out.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, I use IP Alert. It's a Chrome extension, and it was, I don't remember if it was $69 or $169 for life. And when I have when you go into Amazon and you look it up, it'll tell you like IP Alert, basically warning you like, hey, this company, you don't want to sell this company is gonna have issues with it. So it warns you ahead of time. And those just get returned back to the stores.
I keep saying I'm going to invest in that, and I think when you're a newbie, I think if I had it to do all over again, I probably would have invested in IP Alert early, because I think I've got some things that I'm still holding on to now. Items from Brookstone. Nope, don't try it. Brookstone, Sharper Image, don't do it.
No.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know, and there was a deal. It's like, oh, I can turn these around on Amazon. No, you can't. So
Yeah.
after a
It
while,
happened
you
to me.
start to, you know, be in groups and get additional information about which items might cause a problem. But for 69 or 99 or 100 and whatever the cost is, I think it's definitely money well spent to
Yeah, and I
have
don't
the
know.
extension.
I know. I thought I had a code for it, and of course I don't know this right now. But if I find it, I'll just put it in the comments in the YouTube video.
I've heard there's codes available.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, thanks. I'll use it if you do.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mr. Peebles, I did not receive your text yesterday, but that's probably because I wasn't looking at that phone. I got 2 phones plus I got super phones, so I got so many ways to contact me, and you go back to before I started using a whole nother system just for the benefit of the working class hustlers. So I will check that a little bit later today. Guys, we're coming up on, let's see how much time we got here. We're coming up on our hour. So if anybody had any more questions, we got about 5 minutes before I gotta get going. Let's see, Tradina added, I wish there was a safety compliance document in Pesticide Alert. Like isn't that kind of funny? Sometimes you go to scan a box of cereal and you get all of this pesticide stuff, and you go, really? Is that what we're eating?
I tried to list some garlic powder, and I got a pesticide.
You see what I'm saying? And you're thinking,
garlic powder.
okay. See, we as Amazon sellers, we learned a lot of the stuff. It can be clothing. Sometimes you'll go and check an item of clothing, and it'll say something about pesticides. I mean, they're putting this stuff. It can be makeup. It could be health and beauty. Isn't that amazing? So, who's ready for me to open up my Rakuten?
I'm ready.
Drum roll, please. Well, it ain't that much, guys.
Oh, you're not taking a trip to Fiji with that.
No, I don't know.
Hey, but while you're outsourcing, you can get some sustenance.
I can reinvest it in the business.
Be in bed.
Judy says, hey Horace, would it be helpful if I post the items that I am selling on my site and send them to get it on Amazon?
Like a Shopify store?
I'm guessing. I hope she's not talking about
Dropshipping?
drop shipping. Stay away from that if that's what you're talking about. Let's get some clarification before we answer that question. Let me see, was there something else I wanted to... Oh, just another side note on the liability insurance. We kind of touched on that last week, and I have my appointment on tomorrow. So I'll let you guys know what it's going to cost me to have $1 million worth of liability insurance. From what I've heard, if you're doing $10,000 a month or more, you now have to have it. It's got to be scanned in and all of this stuff. So we'll see.
It's like 10,000 a month for like 2 or 3 months in a row, correct?
They changed it. Now it's for only 1 month. That they just changed it within the last week or two they gave us notice about that.
Did they email you or?
I received an email, but in your seller app under news, it is there. And I believe the date was maybe August 8th, because I remember looking it up for someone else. I see Judy is saying no drop shipping. Here's what I'm wondering. I think a lot of people who do reselling utilize multiple platforms. Elizabeth was talking about this last time. Multiple platforms, because sometimes you have something for one reason or another can't be sold, isn't selling on Amazon. Having other vehicles through which you can sell your merchandise is a good idea. So whether that be eBay, Poshmark, or your own private website, that can be very helpful. Is my thought. You just have to be careful about cross-listing and making sure you don't, double sell.
Right, now you don't have the inventory. That's bad.
Right, that's very bad.
So Mark E. Sells says, man, Amazon has recently been taking way too long taking my stuff out of inbound. Yeah, that happens. We definitely feel your pain. That's just part of the process. I will tell you, at this point, I probably do, if I had to just put it in rough percentage, I probably do 65%, 70% merchant fulfilled, and the rest FBA. And my sales have been better. I have more control, and for me, it's a better experience. Now, I came to Amazon before there was a such thing as FBA, and so I was already set up for, fulfilling my own orders. So that's nothing that I was new to. So when I came to Amazon, a lot of people come to Amazon, and one of the lures is, hey, they'll do everything for you. That wasn't my thing, trying to get them to do everything. My thing was, how can we make this work? I was having way too many problems with FBA. And then with the right products, you can actually make more money merchant fulfilling. It just depends on what it is. And you got to remember, I do a lot of snack foods. That's a different ball game altogether, because now you got to deal with expiration dates. You got people on this live stream right now talking about, well, my shipment is taking way too long to get inventory. I can't afford that because my products have expiration dates on it. I ain't got time for it. But neither does my competition. So we all kind of merchant fulfill. And nobody gets the lion's share taking a risk on sending it in FBA so that it can be tied up in their system. See, that's a whole nother thing we could go into.
Yeah, they take with the shipping. It takes 3 to 5 days to get to Pennsylvania for me, and then all of a sudden they're shipping those across the country. So there's another 5-8 days on top of that.
And then sometimes it does nothing. You go out there and you look and nothing's happening.
Right.
I can't afford that, but Mikey wants the panel to know he's almost at his goal of $100,000 in sales. Yay, Mikey! And he's only been selling for 5 months. Let's see. Judy says she does promote Amazon products, she does reviews, and she's an affiliate. That's great.
That's great, Judy.
Let's see.
Oh, you're welcome, JR. I'm trying, Mikey.
All right, guys. So here's the deal. I have a final announcement to make. So I'm gonna let the panelists leave, and I'm gonna give a final announcement. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for coming out. The working class hustler panelists, you guys know how much you mean to our group, to YouTube, to the entire community. It is so, so wonderful, nice, and generous of you guys to give of your time for the benefit of others. Many you will never even meet. This live stream will be replayed, and so you will be affecting people beyond what you could even imagine. So thank you so much. I'm going to remove you guys now. For those of you who might be interested in my final announcement, hang around. We're going to get to that right now. Okay, guys. So this is going to be for anyone that might be interested in getting yourself on an ungated leads list. Now, of course, many of you might be familiar with leads list, but this one in particular is ungated. So if you're new, this is going to be specific for newbies. This might be something that you would be interested in. So I'm going to share my screen to show you exactly what I offer in case you might be interested. Now, give me one moment, see if I can find that. Sometimes I have problems navigating. So if you can see my screen, I hope you can. It is called the Arbitrage Total Training System. And the main feature of it is the ungated leads. That's going to be important because a lot of newbies, if you're watching the replay of this especially, a lot of newbies say, wow, I'm gated and everything. And it's just not true, but you could use some help. But a typical leads list will only give you the leads, generally in the form of a spreadsheet. With this list, you get coaching with each and every list. Actually, myself, a video accompanies the spreadsheet so that you're not only given a fish, you're taught how to fish. The purpose is for you to be just as good as me sourcing. You probably will only need to be a member for maybe a month or two, because within a month or two, you've got 4 to 8 weeks worth of coaching from me. At that point, you're ready to go. It is $100 a month, but we're actually running a sale. The link will be in the description. You can get that for $50 a month. Imagine being able to source for yourself and learn what you need to learn and have access to me for $50 rather than $1,000 like some of these courses are. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you check down in the description for that link. And also remember, around here, all roads lead to tactical arbitrage. So make sure you check this channel if you're interested in learning that software. We have entire playlists, we have mini series, we have what we call the lightning courses, and all of that has been put together right here. Don't have to sign up for anything, for your benefit. So with that, I will see you in the next video.